The first pardon of Adriana Camberos in 2021 became an issue in the District 1 supervisor's race last year. A South Bay business owner who was convicted of fraud, sentenced to prison, and pardoned on the final day of President Donald Trump's first term, then convicted in 2024 of another fraud scheme hatched after her release and sent to prison again, was pardoned a second time by Trump Thursday. Adriana Camberos was sentenced to 1 year and 1 day in federal prison in April after a jury convicted her and her brother, Andres, of conspiracy to commit wire fraud and wire fraud charges. Court records show Camberos went into federal custody in August, and the Federal Bureau of Prisons website shows now she was no longer in custody as of Thursday, the day Trump signed the pardon. Andres Camberos, who were sentenced to a year in home confinement, was pardoned at the same time. Precisely why the two siblings were pardoned is unclear. No reason was given in the order Trump signed. In a brief statement, Marcus Barraza, a lawyer for Camberos, thanked both Trump and Alice Johnson, a woman Trump pardoned in 2020 and who became his pardon advisor this year. Ms. Camberos was wrongfully convicted, Barraza wrote. She's home now and very grateful to the President, the White House, and Alice Johnson for their support. The brother and sister were convicted by a jury in 2024 for running a scheme where several Otay Mesa companies they controlled bought an array of household goods from various companies and promised they would sell the products in Mexico or in domestic prisons and rehabilitation centers. That allowed them to purchase the goods at a discounted price. Instead, the products were sold back into the U.S. market at U.S. market prices. Prosecutors contended they pocketed millions of dollars in profits. The scheme was similar to another that Adriana Camberos participated in years before, in which initially landed her and her former husband in prison. That scheme involved 5-hour energy drinks and a similar pattern. The manufacturers sold them bottles at a 40% discount from the price paid by U.S. distributors. They were intended to be sold in Mexico and bore labels in Spanish. Instead, the couple relabeled the bottle, scraping off the Spanish-language labels with a razor blade, then slapping on bogus English labels. They then sold the drink back into the U.S. market at U.S. market prices.